I got to tell you, you are looking at Joe Plume from Behind the Cheese on Christmas Day 2023. The Green Bay Packers defeated the Carolina Panthers yesterday. As you can see, I'm tongue tied. Carolina Panthers yesterday, 33-30. They kicked the field goal with 19 seconds left. I don't know where to begin. There's a part of me that wants to not even talk about it, and then there's a part of me that wants to talk for about an hour. Love played great. I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. Bottom line was they ran out of time. Carolina Packers have ran out of time a lot of times in their games when they've lost. Carolina got down with 19 seconds left. They tried to down the ball. The clock had run out, and the Packers held on 33-30. Packers had a 30-16 lead in the fourth quarter. Carolina came storming back, tied it. If it wasn't for an amazing Dobbs catch on the last drive for the Packers, they would have lost. But they're still in the hunt. And as much as I want to be positive, and I am the most positive Packer fan you will ever find, we are 7-8. We moved up from 11th to 10th, and only 7 teams make the playoffs. A lot of people say we're 95% that we will make the playoffs if we beat Minnesota next week and then beat Chicago the final game. Even if we win both those games, a lot's got to happen. Things that went, I know I'm all over the place. I'm a little disjointed today, but a lot of things didn't go well yesterday. I mean, Minnesota losing went well. The Bucks won. Seattle came back and won. And who else? The Rams won on Thursday. Atlanta won. So the Packers did move up one. They leapfrogged New Orleans, but they're still 10th. So they got to leapfrog. They got to win 2 and then leapfrog 3 teams to get into the playoffs. Definitely want a playoff game. Always want a playoff game. Whether we go to a Super Bowl or not, I just think it's a good experience. It's good for the Packer organization. It's good for me as a fan, seeing my Packers play another week. Getting to the game, Love ran for a touchdown. Dillon ran for a touchdown. Wicks had a beautiful touchdown. He got knocked out of the game. And then Dobbs scored a touchdown. We missed an extra point. And our kicker kicked a 53-yard field goal. And then the winner, thank goodness, at 33-yarder or 32-yarder. He's been up and down, Anders Carlson. I think he's missed, they said, 5 extra points, 5 or 6 extra points, I believe, this year. Scary. Not used to that. We had a solid kicker. I know he's a rookie, Anders, but Mason Crosby was a veteran for 16 years for the Packers. He was incredible. Maybe had like 1 or 2 bad years. Definitely had like 1 terrible game against Detroit one time, we all remember. And he had probably 1 or 2 bad years. 1 real bad year, but he got it together. Going back to the game, Jones had over 100 yards. Great game. Aaron Jones looking healthy. The defense was playing well at one point, but then fell apart in the fourth quarter. Highlights, Josiah DeGuara had a quiet recovery of a fumble, which was huge at one point. Again, like I said, I mentioned Dobbs' catch, which was controversial, but looked like he had it. There was no controversy in the last spike from the ex-Alabama guy, Bryce Young, because the clock had run out. They threw a ball across the middle, and it ran out on them. But Love looked good. Dobbs looked good. There was no Jaden Reed yesterday. No Christian Watson again yesterday. The Ontavian Wicks got hurt. Bo Melton stepped up, had 4 catches. Tucker Kraft is coming along. And Alexander did play, but if I'm sure people have listened to what he had done in the beginning of the game. He went out there for the coin toss and said he wanted to play defense first when we won the toss. He went out there without anybody knowing, and he's been a problem. Like I said, I love him as a player, but he's been, he's missed 6 games, and he goes out there and he does that. If you look it up, you'll see what he did. LaFleur kind of talked about it. I didn't know. I actually heard Tom Silverstein talking about what he did, and he actually said something like, if he doesn't stop if he wasn't such a good player, and he hasn't been a good player in a while now. I know he's been hurt. That his knucklehead stuff they would get rid of him and trade him. And I've been saying that if you've been listening to me for a few weeks now. It's not like I'm trying to get rid of him, but he does some questionable things. Says some questionable things. Does some questionable things. And if he doesn't straighten himself out, he's probably going to find his way out of Green Bay. So the Packers do escape. They get to 7 wins. They're 7-8. Still in it. Got to beat Minnesota. Got to beat Chicago, and then got to get some help. Again, a lot of people think that we're 95% if we win both games, I'm not so sure. Right now, we're like 30% to make the playoffs. But first things first, got to beat Minnesota. They went down yesterday. They had Mullins playing. He threw 4 interceptions, but the Packers got to play better. Again, Stokes played. He was very close on coverage, but he was beat a couple times. Alexander was beat a couple times. They didn't look great. Obviously, the defense has not gotten better, and it's not going to get better in a week. It's not going to get better this season. But I still, as a Packer fan, would love to see them make the playoffs. Would love to see one more game. Love to see them get the experience. The offense is coming around. It's looking better. Got a lot of upside with the receivers and the tight ends. The linemen are playing well, and Love's playing well. But even going back to the first drive, we stop them, and then Lucas Van Ness, he's upcoming player, runs into the kicker, and they call it roughing the kicker. He falls at his foot, but it's roughing the kicker. So a lot of mistakes. Green Bay is the 5th most penalized team in the league. I think they were 3rd 2 weeks ago, but now they're 5th. Devontae Wyatt was yelled at by LaFleur, and then he goes over and he hugs him. But check out on that Alexander situation. I've never ever heard of anything like this. Going out there with the captains when he wasn't supposed to go out there after not playing for 6 games, saying that he wanted to play defense first after winning the toss. They were saying if LaFleur didn't go to the referees, Green Bay wouldn't have got the ball in either half, which would have been unbelievably crazy. Go Pack Go. Joe Palone from Behind the Cheese, Christmas Day. I've been eating for the last 2 or 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm afraid to look at my weight. Was down to 161.6 at the lowest. Was 163 Friday morning, and we'll see what I am tomorrow morning, and I'll let you know. But go Pack Go, and we'll talk to you soon.